clap, man.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I like how we always just start our episodes off with a reaction to the clap. Yeah. Now that's good. That's good. Hello, friends, family, haters, loved ones, hated ones,
Civilians,
non-civilians, humans,
animals, you know, cats watch
Flies.
TV, things like that. You know?
maggots,
Okay. We're not in the army. Not today, sir.
cockroaches.
Yeah, to the roaches out there.
Yeah.
Stay
no?
the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, of course. Of
You
course.
know, work my nerves.
Yeah. We crafting this season, man, bro.
We've been putting in some work already.
Ons
Yeah.
werk hier.
I mean, as you were saying now, not too long ago also, it's like we've come a long way. And just by like the setup we have at the moment also, it's yeah.
Kijk, you know what
It's
I
a lot of
can't wait
freedom.
for? Is for the headphones.
Ah, well, we'll
I'm
get there.
excited for that. You
We'll
know
get
what I mean?
there. It's gonna be weird also because like then
You
you
get to
like
hear
hear
yourself.
yourself.
Uh.
Feedback is there all the time. It's
You hear your true voice.
not.
Yeah.
It's fine. You can be excited. You be excited. You do that. Have fun.
Now, of course. So, we're not going to introduce ourselves ever again. If you're new here, go watch the previous episodes. Please.
You're gonna do that every time.
My bro, it's irritating, man.
No, but you're gonna do that now every
Yes.
time. We're not gonna introduce ourselves.
We're not going You should know who we are by now. So, yeah, if you don't, go watch the previous episodes, right?
Speaking about previous episodes,
Yeah. Yeah.
so we're actually going to revisit a previous episode, so
Yeah.
to say,
Yes,
or
sir.
a topic rather, and speak about, because I mean it's some time has passed.
A lot of time has
obviously.
passed,
Time
yeah.
has passed.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Things have changed, and you know this is just basically a new chapter in the journey.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you
A
put it like that.
reflection session.
A introspection, a reflection
Boom.
from the what you call it, the ribosomal, what
Whatever that.
the shift of the frames.
I will leave that to
CJ.
Rizan. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Rizan,
That
if you're
shit's
watching
been
this,
on my mind, bruh.
that shit's been on my mind. Like, you made me research so many things.
Yo, my guy.
Yeah. Fuck, anyway.
Yeah, we
So,
digress.
We digress. So, we're going to be talking about
I'll
familyhood
put that on a t-shirt.
slash...
We digress.
We digress. Yes! Yeah. Write that down somewhere.
We
You.
digress. Nah, it's
Oh, you.
it's good. It's good. It's
Yeah,
fine.
quick. So, we're going to be talking about parenthood slash fatherhood, you know, in cognitive nature of where we are versus where we were. And the episode that was out, episode 8. So, episode 8, we spoke, it was 8, yeah, episode 8, because I listened to it the other day. There's been a lot of things that has changed,
Mm.
right? As you heard, I'm expecting my third child. I don't stop. We
working. Every day I'm working, no stop.
Every day I'm working, no stopping. So, it's been a crazy journey so far, you know. I've got 2 toddlers now. You know, your kid's a toddler now.
Yeah.
So-
So apparently like the terrible twos.
Yeah.
There's something like that they say. You
Oh,
know.
wait.
I
Like,
mean,
terrible twos do exist, bro.
nah, she's alright. She's chilled. She's
It's-
chilled.
It's starting now, don't worry.
Nah, it's fine. Don't. This thing is you manifesting some shit here, brother.
I don't
No,
manifest.
no. She is an angel. She's a princess. She's perfectly fine.
Of
she's
course.
she's not naughty. Nothing. She's perfect.
Of
It's
course.
fine. Okay.
For now.
No, that's what it is, and that's how it will stay.
Every parent I talk to, no, I always tell them it only gets worse.
No, but it does get worse now. It does get worse. Like compared to before, it has gotten worse for sure. But she's not terrible.
No,
That's
she's
the
not.
thing.
No, it's actually, you know what, no? Fuck it. Let's talk about that. Who came up with these phrases? Because my kids aren't terrible either. Terrible twos isn't a thing.
Yeah.
Like, the saying terrible two is just a tradition. You know?
I think it's a misconception.
Or
rather than a
misconception,
tradition,
yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I think it's more the fact that it comes from, in my perspective at the moment, right? It comes from parents who were not adequately equipped to deal with that age of the child. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? So because the child is now, they're starting to grow, they grow a lot more rapidly, and
Yeah.
their consciousness of what's happening around them is a lot more in tune, and they're a lot more adept to things. So the parents sometimes can't keep up with it.
Yeah, they don't take cognizance of what's happening.
You know what I mean? They
that
can't keep up with
aware.
it, and that then causes them to be like, oh, the child's terrible, because like they don't know how to deal.
Makes sense.
Whereas if you actually equip yourself with the necessary tools to be able to deal with it, it doesn't have to be terrible.
Yeah, it could just be the a phase.
Me talking like this at the moment, when I've actually taken quite a bit of a step back from the parenting game, so to say.
Yeah.
I'll own up to it because I have done it, and I'm not gonna shy away from saying it. Is the
Yeah,
fact that
accountability,
because I have taken a step back and given more responsibility when it comes to my child, to my wife.
Yeah.
I've given more responsibility to her because I'm on a journey or in the process of taking on other responsibilities.
Yes, of course.
Right? And those responsibilities require me to, I won't say detach myself, but pull away from being as involved as I was before.
Yeah. No, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
No,
So
I agree.
it's like, because I'm going on a journey or I'm taking on these other things, I can't be there all the time to do X, Y, and Z for her.
Yeah, of course.
So therefore, I've given that over to my wife. For example, and everybody that knows me and knows about like in my household what happens will know that I don't change nappies. I used to, when within the first like 6.
I can feel the people
6
going, what do you mean?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Every time I bring up the conversation with strangers, and they're like, no, you must help out. You must shush.
Yeah.
Shush. You're not in this house. You don't know how things work in this house. I'm telling you. So I don't at all.
Yeah.
When it got to like, what was it, like 7, 8 months or so, maybe even 6 months,
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not. It started with like the doo-doo nappies.
Yeah, I get
Right? Because I was like, the smell, I just couldn't. Like, for
Yeah,
me, it was
we
like,
spoke about this, yeah.
I'm squeamish with smells. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Sights, not squeamish. Smells, no,
Yeah.
it's must. If need be, I can deal with it. But if I had the choice, I'm not going to.
Yeah, no, of course.
I'm not going to. So if my wife is in the same vicinity as me, this child did something in a nappy, your child did something, come and take care of it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not taking care of it. And that's just how it is at the moment. Yeah, people can rip on me about it or
They
whatever.
can tell you they want, bro.
Fine. But it's just for the fact that I am, for example, like I mentioned, I'm taking on a lot of other things at the moment. The coming time now is going to be, I'll be very busy with that at the moment. So because of that, deal with the nappies, bro.
Now that's a crazy thing. Like for me again, I stopped changing nappy. I think just after 40 I turned one. Like she was just over. I think it was about like 1 year, 2 months. I stopped. Isra's now potty trained, so she doesn't wear nappy at all, which is fun.
At night?
Not at all. She's like fully trained. She wakes up, I need to pee.
Okay,
right?
that's lit.
And then like she's so independent. She will get up. Like I saw this happen. She got up off the bed the other day, in her sleep. I'm sitting in the lounge. She walks to me. She's like, "Daddy, I'm going to the toilet." I'm like, "Okay, but the door's closed." She's like, "It's fine. Do it myself." She can reach the toilet handle. You know how I'm it's a very high handle. But she's tall enough now to reach it. And she opens the door. She gets on the toilet now. She takes the stingy jug, throws water, wipes and gets off by herself. She's
Lit.
3, me, bro.
That's lit, bro.
So I was like, that's fun. But it's just like, she'll be like, sometimes she'll be like, "Daddy, put on the light," because she can't reach the light.
Yeah.
But like, I remember with her, I barely changed nappies. With Faria, I changed nappies a lot. But it was only because Yusra was busy with something else, and she also wasn't home. And I was more like the primary caretaker of Faria.
You were at home more.
Yeah. So now I think about it, like, I think the most important part is communication with your partner, man. I think, like, your relationship with your wife is an open communication and a certain communication. So like, for the people that's going, "Yes, but he must," or you're big, you know what I mean? You can't. I'm the same. Like, no one, and I say this like directly, my parents, my in-laws, no one can tell me how to be a father or a husband, because the relationship I have with Yusra and the communication that we have, especially around our children, because that's the only thing we share. Right? That's the only thing we share. Everything else is conditional sharing, but children is not conditional sharing, right? So I always say, like, no one can tell me, "Yes, but your husband needs to help you with this." That's not our deal.
Mm.
I do this, you do that. That's how it works.
That brings us to a point that we discussing today, is the fact that the traditions of old,
Yeah,
the traditions of old and raising children and parenting, all of those things, it's like we're not of that generation.
exactly.
Things have changed.
A lot.
Yeah, exactly, like we were talking about it earlier
Yeah.
with regards to cooking as well.
My bro,
With regards to
actually,
the cooking as
that's
well.
crazy.
Because it's like,
Yo.
I was saying about, like, look, my mom cooks, like, hands down, like, one of the best cooks ever. Like, I think a lot of people will say that about their mothers, yes, but it's just like,
Nah, I
it's
can
amazing.
attest, my bro.
It's just amazing the way that my mother doesn't need a recipe for anything, and it's just like, give me this, give me that, and she just throws in, eyeballs it, like, properly just eyeballs, that's enough, fine, done, and it's top notch, like, properly. We had, for example, just to explain to you, like,
Yeah.
for everybody out there, like, what I mean by this is the fact that we had a coffee shop, right? Mom had a coffee shop. RIP. RIP to the coffee shop, but okay.
We're gonna
But-
bring it back.
Yeah, that's a
We're
good
gonna bring
idea.
it back.
Yeah, no, that's a
We're
good
gonna bring
idea.
it back.
So, anyways, we had a coffee shop, right? And she got so it wasn't just coffee, obviously. There were like some small items on the menu as well, right?
Yeah.
There were some functions and things like that that happened regularly. And she decided to hire a chef to do the little, for whatever functions or whatever things are going to be
The
happening.
hors d'oeuvres, Allah.
There were,
You
so
know?
she got like a professional chef in, right? And he got like 4 to 5 items for the night, right? And she's like, okay, cool. She's also gonna make something for tonight and whatever. And she just made like your standard, it's like a sandwich, bruh. Like a
Oh, those
steak.
triangles.
No, it's just like a
Oh, like a steak sandwich.
steak and egg type of.
Lekkertjes, yeah.
Sold out the steak and egg. That bruh sold nothing.
Sorry, bro.
Professional chef, chilling, waiting for something to make. Mom sold out all the sandwiches, bruv.
There's 2 aunties on TikTok, Titi and Nana.
I know who you're talking about, yeah.
Titi and Nana, me bro.
Yeah.
Your mama gives that vibes.
That's the whole
watched,
thing.
I've watched Titi and Nana's videos. They don't say, gooi, tweeka. She says,
No.
gooi your bitchy, gooi your bitchy,
Yes.
gooi your bitchy. Then they eyeball it. And it's like, wow.
Eyeball it, give it a little taste test. Oh, give me this. I forgot that. Give me this.
Give
me
me
that.
some cold chana
Boom,
there
boom,
quickly.
boom. Bruh, and it's sure. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
same with those types of things, right? And then we're talking about the fact that, like, nowadays we have so many,
Conveniences.
advancements in the kitchen with technology, right? You get your air fryers, you got this, you got that, you got da-da-da-da. So you don't need to put as much work in.
Wait, I want to say
Whereas-
this. I want to say this
yeah.
about air fryers. There's people still DM me about my air fryer video that I went viral on TikTok. Fuck you. It is a conventional oven. Fuck you. That's a consumer trap.
So anyways, yet you have an air fryer.
Of
Anyways,
course.
So,
My Texmus.
so back in the day,
Yeah,
all these things weren't there.
of course.
So your meals had to be made from scratch every single time.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have the convenience of buying, for example, a whole package of this spices, all these spices going to here. No, you go buy each individual spice.
Yeah, you didn't
to
get to
make
buy
your
all
meal.
spice in the day. You had to buy parishap, kolchana, chira.
You make your own
Uh.
from scratch. You had to make it, and that's why I believe that, like, our parents' generation, so to say,
Yeah,
are much better cooks than we are.
of course.
Because we have convenience.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just buy this sauce. It's got everything in. Khalas.
Yeah,
Oh, you buy this.
go
thing,
buy
it's
this
got
barbecue
everything.
spice. It's got all MSG
Exactly.
goeders in.
But now, like nowadays, we have all of that, and we have all these, like, pressure cooker, air fryer,
Deep
fryer,
fryer.
all these things, and then, like,
What
back
happened to
then
the
they
days
didn't
when you
have
used to
that,
use
bruv.
like pots inside to make the samosas, and now it's air fried samosas,
Yeah.
and now it's what you call it? My mommy and my daddy
My
have.
mother hates the air fried samosa. man.
Bruh, you know what's the worst? No?
Hates it.
Those deep fry machines, no? Like, deep
Yeah,
fryer,
yeah.
right? Even
You must get the
samosas in
singular
there
one that you can
taste
just...
kak. It don't taste the same when it comes out of a pot,
A
man.
pot, yeah. Must be a pot, bro.
Must be a pot, me bro. Yeah.
But yeah, so similarly, things have changed over time with regards
Children
to...
and parenting.
Exactly, and what's available now. For example, the internet wasn't a buzz when I was growing up, like way back. Like
Yeah,
when
my
I- in
mom had to
younger
sing
years.
Rachel's incidentals to me.
Yeah, in
She had
the
to
younger
sing it,
years,
yeah.
yeah. Didn't have Miss Rachel. No offense to Miss Rachel, but like, because Miss Rachel is a fucking savior.
Lifesaver.
Miss Rachel's a savior.
Yo,
Let me
man,
tell you
bro.
that much, right?
And Kalam Kids now for the Muslim people out
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Kalam Kids is top
there. And
notch
Omar
as
and
well.
Anna, like,
Who?
yeah, Omar and Anna is a very, very good cartoon kid show for, Muslim show for kids. Yeah, like Israel learned Bismillah and
Mm.
Alhamdulillah from that.
Okay, now that she learns from us.
Yeah, no,
That
we,
she learns from us. Like now
That's
we teach Dean like
no, I do, but it's just like 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 the way
No,
they
but I
say
get
the
you.
American way of saying it, man.
Yeah.
Because Israel has an American accent. So like when I say
Thanks, Miss
Alhamdulillah,
Rachel.
bastard, when I say Alhamdulillah to her, it's like, but they'll be like Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
different.
no, 100%.
Connotations and what
So
Oh, yeah.
because of that, it's like I take, because we always get advice right from the older generation on like, oh, you must do this, you must try that, and da, 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 da. Alhamdulillah, for me, it hasn't been enforced upon me to do with my children, right? So my mother, for example, or our parents, for example, would give suggestions like, you should maybe try this, she doesn't really like this, or I noticed this about her, and da, 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 and we take it. And I always take it like with a pinch of salt. It's like, cool, I maybe have a better understanding because I maybe know where it comes from,
Yeah.
or why she does it, or why the behavior is there, or anything like that. And I will take my own measures to prevent or to try and change the behavior or whatever the need is,
Yes.
rather than doing, oh no, you must do this to get rid of that, or you must do this to counter that, or whatever, right? So
like reactive parenting.
Basically, yeah.
I get you.
so I will try my own thing rather, instead of just doing like what is told.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am a bit distracted. Sorry, people, we're
Nah.
hungry.
Hungry?
No.
Yeah.
You see, there wasn't this convenience as
You
well.
know what I mean?
Bad, bruv, bad.
Nah, look, I agree with you. I think the crazy part is like how do you navigate that? Because for me, I struggle to navigate suggestions versus advice. You know what I mean? I don't like suggestions because the suggestions I get is coming from you must impose this.
Like,
Like,
trying to enforce.
Yeah, and for me it's like, listen, I put up my walls very quickly, man. I'm like, listen, yeah, these are my children. I will indoctrinate them. I will teach them. I will tell them what's right and wrong. And obviously, all the stuff I teach them, foundation is Islam. That's the foundation. But also like worldviews. I'm going to indoctrinate my children. I'm going to be the one to teach them a doctrine. That's me. I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to teach them about the matrix. I'm going to teach them how the world works. I'm going to teach them about the
How
roles.
the real world works.
Yes, I'm not
the
gonna
world
teach
that
them
everybody
what-
sees.
What they purported to through the media machine. I'm not going
Yeah.
to teach them that. I'm going to teach them the things I know from my experience, but also from the things I digest. But like, it's hard to navigate because sometimes, and I'm not saying like directly, mommy and daddy, if you're watching this, I'm not talking directly about you. So if the shoe fits, wear it. But to all people,
Perspective.
yeah, like it's majority people that are way older than me that always have this. Yeah, man, jy is nog jong, man. Because I'm now 24, so I don't have a valid. My parenting is not valid. In other words, because I'm 24. When I was 24, like, go fuck yourself. I think the problem is that they enforce things saying, yes, but in my day we didn't have this, and I'm just like, listen, while I understand your rebuttal, the methods you applied to me as a child or to my generation of child clearly hasn't worked. Look at Gen Z today.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not gonna even try to apply that same teaching back to my children because I don't want my kids to
What's
be.
the new? What's their generation like? What is
They
their
Gen X.
Is it Gen X?
Is it Gen X? Emo? Do you know? I think they could be.
Have they been given a gen yet?
I think so. I think so. It's 2005 onwards is a new generation.
Okay.
Or 2008. One of the two. It could be 08 onwards. That's a new gen. So anyone between
I think it's Gen X.
99?
Because it's all Twitter. It's Gen X.
Wait, man. I think it's 99 to... Google it, man. Google it. I think it's 99 to 2005 or 2006. Or 2005. That's Gen Z. It could be. I think... Or it's till 2021. I can't... Fuck it. It's going to bother me now. Now it's going to make me bleep. But yeah, I can't apply the same teachings to my kids. I have to apply certain
Gen
things.
Alpha, 2013 to 2025. Generation Alpha. Gen
Alpha.
Z is still 2012. 97 to 2012. That's
Alpha.
Gen Z. Yeah.
So
yeah,
what's
it's
the alpha
Generation
about these
Alpha.
kids?
It's Generation Alpha. Generation Alpha is it's the iPad kids. Basically.
Yeah.
Children are born with iPads in their hands, basically.
Yeah, look, I understand that though, because my daughter's supposed to have tablets, but like,
Exactly.
But-
That's Generation Alpha.
but the difference is it's still moderated. For example,
Just sorry to break your word there quickly. Gen X is before me, millennials.
okay,
Yeah, it's 96, oh, 65 rather to 1980. That's Gen X.
okay,
And then millennials, which is me, 81 to 96. And then Gen Z, 97 to 2012. Then we have our children's generation
Alpha.
is Gen Alpha, which is 2013 to 2025.
Oh, fine, okay.
Yeah.
So what I was saying was that my kids have tablets, but it's moderated in the sense that they only get it for a certain amount of time at a certain time of the day. Like,
And
that's
then
the thing.
when did they get the tablets?
Isra was 1. Faria was... No, Isra was... Yeah, Isra, when she turned 1, I got her a tablet.
Mm.
But I got a shitty one that couldn't do like YouTube and internet stuff. It was just like
It's a learning tablet.
like a Kindle vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I gave that one to Faria when she turned 1 and Isra turned 2. Then I gave Isra a tablet, a Samsung
That was
tablet.
the
Yeah.
legit.
Then that one at Faria had broke, so then I just bought Faria now a Samsung one
normal
also
one.
because she's about to be 2. So like at 2 years old they got their tablet, but they could right before they had the tablet. That's the difference. So like I know kids that get a tablet first and that's their source of education, whereas the tablet is a source of fun and winding down for my kids, which I understand because watching TV or playing Xbox or being on my phone is a winding down for me. So that's the way I implemented it, right? Now, yes, are there times when I give them the tablet to shut them up from having a tantrum? Yes. Not all the time. Sometimes I let them feel the tantrum out, but there are times where it can get a bit too
You
much.
can't deal with it at that time.
Yeah, because like for example, I'm in a work meeting.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am's coming. Wow, here's the tablets.
Shush.
Work. Which I hate, by the way.
Yeah.
I hate having to.
It's not how ideally you want to be dealing with the situation.
Exactly.
But sometimes you don't have a choice because
You have to use
life.
matrix agent things to,
Life,
yeah,
yeah.
it is what it is. So like, the question that I kind of conceptualize in my brain here when we talk about this is like, how do we navigate parenting today? Because there's even unconscious indoctrination from previous generations of parents. And when I say previous, I don't mean just our parents. I mean people that had babies 5 years ago before we had kids. They also trying to tell us how to be parents. But their kids were different. We had COVID babies.
True also.
They're a different breed, my bro.
True.
Like, I look at Faria and Isra. Faria wasn't a COVID baby. COVID was practically gone when she was born. Right? Isra was in the heart of COVID. Like, Faria and Yara, I don't think they are actually COVID babies. They're like a little bit going towards the end of COVID.
When was she born?
September 21, 22.
It was
September 22.
Last year. Not last year, the year before.
2022 she was born, wasn't it?
2022.
Yeah, Faria was
Yeah.
April 2022. So, and she was
Just
September.
after COVID, basically.
Yeah, so COVID was
after
like fading
everything was
away,
lifted.
yeah. So like the
The
pregnancy.
the difference. Vaccinations.
Yeah, like I'm only all vaccinated.
Uh-huh.
Yusra was fully vaccinated.
That's the thing, yeah. So
Yeah.
there is quite. I believe that there would be quite a difference though, because like I wasn't touched by any vax. My wife wasn't touched by any vax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas both you and what's her name
Yeah,
at the
she-
time of conceiving her,
Yeah. I think Yusra was pregnant with Faria when she took a second jab.
you see.
Yeah.
So that I do think will make a bit of a difference also.
I actually want to run a genome on her to see the difference
see.
between Isra because Isra was pre. So I want to see if there's genome difference, like in the way the genetics code different. Like,
Yeah.
If,
If it actually
if
did-
there's any shifts, what's it called?
Ribosomal
Ribosomal
transforming.
shift. That I want to commit that because I remember we did gene sequencing with Isra to see cancer possibilities.
Yeah.
Because of the genetic trait of cancer between me and my wife. But like, yeah, I don't like. Let's see what I wanted to say. Like we
sorry.
digress.
Yeah.
How do we navigate that group of parenting versus older people's parenting? Because I know we parent quite similar. We have similar styles of parenting. It's just that I think sometimes I'm more, because I have two, I have to be quicker to the, to the point. It's like you have more patience than me, if you will, but it's valid because I have 2 children that's driving me insane. So, love you both, girls, when you see this one when you're big, but
When you
Yeah.
understand what you're talking about.
I think how do we combat the agendas that people are pushing around being a parent in today's life. Because being a parent is not difficult. It's just testing. It's not difficult. It tests you. It's the most fulfilling thing. Because something can't be the best thing and the worst thing. That's my opinion. Like, we're having kids, best thing. We both agree, most fulfilling thing ever, right? We said this on the previous episode, on episode 8 of the fatherhood episode. It's the most fulfilling thing. So I've come to understand, I've changed the way I say things around it, because I used to say, being a parent is the most fulfilling thing and the hardest thing. It's not that it's hard, it's just a test your patience. So how do we kind of adapt our parenting style consciously is the question. Not for you, but for us. Like, how do we do that? Because I'm still trying to figure out how am I going to deal with a third child now. Like, how am I going to raise him?
I actually figured, I just actually got an answer for that now. It just occurred to me. To my child, I am the begin all and end all.
Oh shit, the brick.
Dada says you listen. That's it. Or there's trouble, basically, right? It's not in that way, but she understands that she needs to listen to me.
No, I get
Not
that.
so much listen to a mother. A mother's like a toy for her, basically, to be honest with you. Like, that's what I'm trying to instill with her at the moment. Also linking back to the responsibilities and so on. She knows that if my wife says, I'm going to call Dada, she's like, okay, cool, I will listen.
Okay, that makes sense, yes.
I will listen now because I don't want Dada to be upset.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, that's the same approach we do as well. Like, that, like, unconsciously we do that.
Yes.
Like, Yusra is the nurturer, right? So she takes care of all the emotional needs.
Exactly.
X, Y, and Z. I'm there. I spend time with her X, Y, and Z. But like, when there's cack, daddy.
Yeah.
If there's a problem or if they're scared, daddy.
Yeah.
If they're catching on cack, because like I noticed when
don't want daddy to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when my mother and Yusra like they applied this to the children about 6 months ago, and now if my office door is closed and they're going on and our mommy or Yusra says, I'm going to call daddy now, or they say mix, and the door go open, Yusra and father go straight to the couch and sit still. I don't even have to correct them. I'm just like, I just do this. What's going on here? Then they're like, then Israel will be like, Daddy, where's my cat?
All of us just change the subject.
So I was like, that's smart actually. So in other words, what you're saying is the advice we should be giving people is that from the get-go.
This is just clicking for me now. It's all just clicking, sorry.
Literally, no?
It's all just clicking. Just
from
talking about this now, it's actually just, everything's making sense because it's like, from what we've spoken about before as well, it's not just parenting, but the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Right? The guy's supposed to lead. The man's supposed to lead the house.
Authority is with the father and the husband,
right?
Yeah.
So they need to fall in line, for example. The children need to fall in line.
You can't lead without authority, yeah.
Exactly. They need to fall in line when it's like, oh no, I need to listen here. I need to do this here. I need to, right? And alhamdulillah, for me, I can say 90% of the time, my child will do something if I ask her to.
Alhamdulillah.
I'll tell her, pick this up, put that away, do this, and she will do it without, and maybe she'll take the piss here and there, make a joke out of something, laugh a bit, she try to do something else, whatever.
Yeah,
but she's going to do it.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? Because also I'm not doing it in a way that she feels like, oh no, I'm going to get the hiding if I don't do it.
Yeah.
I ask her.
That's something.
I ask her nicely.
Yeah.
I ask her like a person.
That's actually quite.
I don't be like, you better do this, you better go and no, I ask her. Yeah. And like now, for example, she's now what? A year and a few months.
Yeah, she's
right?
2 in a few months, yeah.
Right? A year and a couple of months now. We ask her, do you want to eat? Do you want supper? Do you want to eat? She will tell us yes or no.
That's actually quite, because that brings us to our next point that I want to speak about is the communication of the older generation of parenting versus how we communicate. We can all agree that older generations of parenting, this is now particularly for our parents group of people, that age group.
Our parents group of people.
Our parents age group, man.
Okay.
That's it. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm in pain.
Yeah, I'm checking.
You suck at communication. Like, I feel like they went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
And
it was a lot more, their tone of voice and the way they brought the message across was a lot more authoritative. It was a lot more commanding. For example, like, this has to be done, or this better be, or there was always like the underlying threat of the fact that you're going to be in trouble if this doesn't get done.
Yeah.
Or You know, maybe look, it could also just be us as children, which were maybe tough.
Fair. No, look, fair. But I've heard this from not just us. Multiple people I've spoken to, we always felt that either it was, okay, let me put it to this way. I've spoken to my colored friends and I've spoken to my white friends.
Mm.
Now, I'm not putting race on it. I'm not making this a racist thing. But colored people racial restrictions. I'm putting racial restrictions on. But for the majority of my friends I spoke to, the group of people I spoke to that are colored, there was an undertone of, say, pak. You're going to get gemoed if you don't do this. So do it. I don't smack to be walking around with blue marks or so bum. So I'm going to do this now.
Yeah.
Then my white friends is, if you don't do this, I'm taking this from you. Right? So they would be like, I don't want to disappoint my parents. It was more mental for them. Right?
Look,
that's from my friend group.
I lie. Not I lie. It's just I don't find that accurate. The punishment is different. There's still a threat of punishment.
But it's different, yeah.
Because, for example, the friends you speak of who had things that could be taken away, they had things that could be taken away.
Oh, we had to be
Your
taken
current
away.
friends,
We didn't
they didn't really have anything that
we
could be
just got
taken
back.
away. So it's like, okay, next form of punishment is, okay, it's corporal.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean? Because
And look,
you don't have a tablet, you don't have a this that can be taken away because we couldn't afford to buy it in the first place.
Yeah, like I remember a conversation I had with my mom not too long ago where I was like, they don't even realize they did this to us. Because till this day, I'm still conditioned to like walk on eggshells around my parents because I'm like, I don't want to upset them because I know they're going to go from 0 to 100 real quick. Whereas like with my daughters, I want it to be a matter of like here's a classic example. When I went to Racefest in 2017, I lied to my parents saying, no, the party's here in Stellenbosch. The fucking Racefest was in Verleersdorp. And when I told my parents, I was like, listen, mommy, daddy, I lied. It's actually in Verleersdorp.
It's very far away.
Yeah. My father's response to me was like, no, boy, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. I was 18 at the time already. But my father's words was, no, boy, enjoy yourself. Have fun. But when you come home, just know you're going to be in kak. So I, throughout the whole party, and in the back of my mind, I thought, yeah, when I go home, I'm either going home to my clothes packed in a bag, maybe a smack or two.
But
or
didn't you enjoy the shit out of that party though?
I did. I'll be honest, but no. But in the back of my mind, there was parts of me that was so afraid to go home. And then I realized, but if I had just told this man where I was going, it would have been fine. But then why did I lie in the first place?
Yeah.
Because if I told the truth, I was afraid that I was going to get told I can't go.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. My parents never set up a communication factor for me where they could say, listen, if you feel a certain way, tell us. So like, for me, it's a matter of with my daughters, I want them to say, you know what, daddy, I'd like to do this. Is it okay with daddy? Yeah, nah, no stress, I'll take you. As long as I know where you are.
Yeah, I think the dangers of the world out there were not communicated appropriately with us when we were younger.
They just threatened us with violence. Yeah, they didn't tell us why they're protecting us.
I understand it also to a certain extent because sometimes you're just not ready to hear that truth.
You wasn't ready.
Because you don't know how to process it.
Yeah.
A lot of the dangers in the world is like, I never want my child to find out about it.
Of course.
Because I never want them to get into a situation where they need to know about it in the first place. But at some point they will need to know about it. Because at some point they either, if they don't hear it from me or learn it from me,
it's better they hear it from you than
exactly,
outside.
it's going to come from somewhere else. And how is it going to get to them if it's coming from somewhere else?
Then they develop a fear of you and then they don't want to tell
it's like
you.
now they don't trust you because like, yo, you could have told me about this.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I also find was a big miss is the fact that things like from the real world outside were not communicated.
Yeah.
When you were younger as a child, for example. Like I only found out later in life is like my mother told me, it's like the only reason I always wanted you to tell me where you are is that so if something happens, I know where you are.
Yeah. And I can get to you.
Yes. If need be. That wasn't the message I got at the time.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
At the time, I was like, shit, she's not going to want me to be here.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe she doesn't, but maybe they don't, but you don't know if what the response is going to be. But because that open line of communication wasn't there, it's very harder to get across.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because I had a similar experience after race.
What kind of English is that? Anyways, sorry.
I agree with that because it's crazy. Like if I think about it now, after Race Fest, there was an agreement made between myself and my parents. They said, look, you're 18 now, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but you're living in our house. So the deal is you need to post on your WhatsApp status where you are at all points in time.
If
Yeah.
you're moving from
Like,
one place to
so it's
another,
like-
you put it up.
So, for example, when I was in Longsit, then people thought I was doing this to record my good vibes. It was just for my parents to know, okay, I'm at Bob's in Longstreet. Okay, I'm at Marvel in Longstreet. I'm fucking off to Stellenbosch now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here in Stellenbosch now. Okay, I'm here at this place now. So they could know, in case of an emergency, okay, this is where my son last was. That's all. But if they could have told me that before, I wouldn't have felt like I had to hide things from my
Yeah.
parents. So, like, it's the same thing. I will be able I want at least for my daughters and for if I have a son, if this baby turns out to be a boy, inshallah,
I mean,
then I will obviously state the same, to them. Like, let me know where you're going so that I can make sure that you're safe. If you need me, phone me. Don't depend on the world outside. Depend on me. Because the world outside is worse now than what it was when we were outside. When I was outside,
Yeah.
it was still okay.
you could still play outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't know about your generation.
Nah,
but
I
like,
could.
for me, it's like we played soccer and cricket and
Nah, I was
all in the
transition.
road.
Now for us, like my age group, between 22 and 25 now, that group of people, we were in the transition from playing outside to playing PlayStation 2 at your friend's house. So we would still go out, but it's like, okay, mommy, I'm going to Tristan to go play Xbox. We wouldn't play soccer in the road anymore, but we'd play Xbox. But at some point in time, we used to play soccer in the road together, but then the PS2 was out.
And like you could walk. Like I remember when I was small, we could walk like from point A to point B. It doesn't like shit, bruh.
Yeah, we
You
were in
could just
transition, yeah.
walk down the road to wherever and be like, I walked, my guy. I walked a lot. Wow, I walked a lot when I was younger. Jeez.
Yeah, I need to walk a lot now.
Because like, yeah, like I walked home alone from school, primary school, and it wasn't the issue
Yeah.
because it wasn't okay. Now it's much worse. I wouldn't trust children walking alone home
Yeah,
from
bro,
primary
fuck
school
that.
now anymore.
I
But
wouldn't even let my lad walk home from high school anymore. What the fuck?
Yeah,
you
exactly,
primary
it's like-
school. Oh.
it's a bit sketchy
Oh.
nowadays, which is makes it's also part of the differences, from back then to now.
So yeah, that's why we can't apply that same, parenting style, if you will.
Yeah.
Because every time is different, man. Like, we're from different generations, but our children are the same generation, so our parenting style will be the same
Yeah,
to a certain extent.
it should.
It should be. Yeah, it
Can't
should be.
say it will be. It should
It
be.
should be.
Kind of, depending. I mean, everybody's different as well, right?
Yeah.
People have different beliefs and values, and so.
Yeah,
But
we
because
we
we're
wouldn't be-
similar
I was gonna
in
say we
our
wouldn't be
values and
blessed.
beliefs,
We wouldn't be blessed if we didn't have the same.
we're going to have this similar
Yeah,
outlook on
oh,
the
yeah.
on how
Exactly.
parenting should be.
So now, like we've spoken so much about like so much things now, but like to close off because the food's almost here and we want to eat.
yeah.
To close off, like,
It's time now.
what is your biggest fears about being a parent today, my bro? Like, where you stand with that?
Social media, bro.
Okay.
Social media is my biggest fear. And just trying to navigate and mitigate the influences that there are on social media.
Trap.
Because that is one of the most dangerous things out there for our children at the moment. Right?
Yeah.
They get influenced by what they see online. And coming back to the point of like for the fact that your children have like tablets and stuff like that, how do you know when they're starting to search their own stuff on the tablet?
Oh, I have.
understand what
I have
I
a
mean.
parent account, so anything they do outside of YouTube Kids, I have to approve.
Okay, now that's basically what I mean. You know what I mean? So it's like basically doing that. And I mean, my child doesn't have any access to. The only time she has access to a phone or anything like that is when we are showing her something.
Yeah.
Because we're busy, like for example, if my wife and I were sitting maybe on our phones, whatever, she'll be like, see, and then we'll show
Yeah.
her.
Look here. That's what
This
I'm
is what
looking
we're looking at,
at.
right? So that influences like, oh, cool, this is what gets looked at on the internet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, of
Rather
course.
than like them going to find out from their friends and whatever, or you know how things are basically. Like,
Yeah.
oh no, you must look at this, you must watch this, and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Those influences, bruh, it's like that is my biggest fear. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to, because
Oh.
at some point they're gonna start being independent with regards to the fact that they have their own phone, they have their own all of that, and it's just being able to protect them from those influences.
Yeah, bro. Like, That's fucking deep, man, bro.
I know that's like
Like,
that's like
yo,
my main concern.
That fucked me up now, no? Because like social media, no, is such a great thing, no, if used correctly,
Yeah.
and such a cuck thing if used incorrectly. But and it's not just social media. You know what?
My internet.
Bro, it's my biggest fear, no, is that my children believe what they see.
That's yeah.
Not social media alone. I'm talking about
The internet itself.
Yes, like even fucking TV.
Mm.
Do you see how they funneling cuck into the SABC even now? No disrespect, South African Broadcasting Committee. I'm just saying, like, there's certain things. I remember at one point in time, no, like the boys will know what I'm talking about. On a Friday night, after 10 o'clock, it was sexy time on SABC 3. They used to play adult movies,
Okay.
18 plus movies. It was after 10 o'clock. Sexy BC3 it used to be. All the blowers come on, you know what I mean? But it's like, they now put that in daytime slot shows. Like, there will be children's shows where they're talking about sex.
Yeah.
And like, that's TV shows, bruh. And like, it's not just that, it's also like the news of your country doesn't give you information on what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So for example, like the biggest misinformed thing that I've seen on the internet or on the news rather is like the war in Russia and Ukraine, that conflict. Don't want to speak about it, but like, this is something I saw on one of Tucker Carlson's video clips, right? Shout out Tucker Carlson, like, the interview with him and Putin was great. For example, the Russian country's media system is run by the presidency. So Russia's mainstream media is not run by independent companies, it's run by the presidency. So anything that
he
you
says this is fine to go on.
exactly, he's the one that gives the final tick. Whereas if you look at every other country, especially in the West, right?
Yeah.
Our country's not in the
Independent
West. It's influenced heavily by the West, but now with BRICS, it's kind of not.
Yeah.
Because
Still have to see how that plays out.
it's playing out quite nicely now because Putin's also now the one that's overseeing BRICS for this quarter of the presidential suite.
Yeah.
The next person I think will be the guy of China. Every season, there's a season rotation.
Season 1. We're now in season 1.
where like, certain people from every BRICS country takes over
Yeah.
the leadership of BRICS, makes the final decisions, if you will. So the Russian mainstream media is controlled by Putin and his staff, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at any other Western country or affiliated Western countries that are affiliated to the West, their media is controlled by groups of people that are owned by one big company.
Yeah.
And now my fear is that I could be watching ENCA, right? Because for me in South Africa, the best source of news is ENCA in South Africa. They cover much more than SABC, right? And if you look at, like, SABC has more channels, but ETV's news system, way better. Way better. Like, what's that guy's name? Siobhan, I forget his name. He's like one of the best fucking reporters, bro. Like, crazy. The ENCA journalists are next level journalists. Like, and if you look at their social media, it's like they're not so involved in the West, man. They cover things like for example, with this Russia and Ukraine thing, the Western media was saying that Russia was wrong, and the rest of the world was saying that Russia wasn't because of the treaty that was broken, and Zelensky, what he did, the president of Ukraine, what he did, X, Y, and Z. So there's different sides you can pick. But ultimately, what we need to look at is, like, my fear is that South African media is not for consumption for our children. Because even for a person who's a grown-up, I don't like watching South African media because it doesn't make sense. Some of the stuff you see on the news doesn't make sense. Some of the stuff our government doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And now, how do I expect to raise my child in a country that there's potential
That
to be
doesn't
one of
make
the
sense.
But exactly, like, that doesn't make sense. So my fear is, like, social media is a big one because, but also at the same time, social media can be the opposite, because I get all my trusted information from certain parts of social media that we can't speak about here because YouTube. And I think the most important part is to kind of navigate that with your kids, because my children don't have access to searching things. They don't have TikTok accounts, nothing like that. They just have YouTube Kids on their tablets. That's it. And even that is controlled. Like, they only have 3 channels they can subscribe to, and it's just that. You're just gonna watch this cack. And then obviously, like Omar and Hannah and Kalam Kids, that's not on YouTube Kids, then that they can watch on the TV on my YouTube account.
Is it weird, that my child loves to watch herself.
What do you mean?
If, for example, we can play videos of her on the TV and she will want to watch it the whole time, continuously.
No, it's not weird, man. It was like that too. Father, not so much.
Okay.
Father, it's a
Because it's like she loves it, bro. Like we can literally sit for more than an hour and just show her
does
videos.
She say, Daddy, I'm pretty.
No.
Watch.
She's just like, Baba, more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, that's you, child. Like, you know it's you.
Yeah,
like,
no, Isra says, Daddy, I'm pretty. Look, I'm pretty. So, it's not weird.
okay. I was just like, because it's just like, for me, it's like, you're watching yourself. Like, Because for me, I don't like to watch myself, so to say, as well. Maybe that's why.
I will make a misogynistic comment right now. What do women do the most? Look in the mirror.
I mean, I guess.
What do they do? They always like, is my hair right? She's a girl.
True.
My 40 is obsessed with mirrors, but she hates her own reflection. She like will look and she'll be like,
Nah, I'm not a big mirror fan, for
I ain't
myself
scared of
or
mirrors,
for-
bruv.
For
So yeah,
myself or for what's name.
biggest
for
fear is just like mainstream
just the
media
influence.
plus social media. But we can combat that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not something we can't
I'm
control.
I'm avoiding the combat at the moment by just not letting her.
Yeah, now
You know what I mean? So it's like, when the time comes, I'll cross the bridge, but it's like I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna get over the bridge.
prevention is better than cure.
You know what I mean?
Prevention is better than cure. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna have to cure my shit. My children already have phones. So like now, when they're like 8, they're gonna be like, I want a phone like daddy. I want a phone like mom.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
But I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I mean, she got the phone when she was like 4 months old. It's a broken phone, but she got her own phone because she wanted one, right?
Yeah.
So like, here's something for you to play with. It's like,
Now she wants
keep
something
her
at
occupied.
work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why like, nah. The longer you keep her off that and off like TV and stuff, the
Yeah.
better. Because my kids can't. TV is a part of their day,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, it's benefited me, so I can't be selfish and say, no, like, don't do it. I can't be hypocrite. Like, it's beneficial, but you have to keep it timed nicely.
Yeah.
That's the most important part. So, it's been 47 minutes, bruh.
It's been good. It's been a good 47.
been a vibe.
Look, when we talk about things that are important to us, we go.
We go,
You know what I mean? We can go.
Yeah, and you were complaining you don't get enough of us. Here you have it. Thanks.
We parents, we fathers. That.
But the thing
consumes
is,
our
we could
lives.
talk for hours about our kids and our wives and our lives. We can, because it's something we
Yeah,
care
it's-
about. It's close to us. So, yeah. But
But
fucking hell.
we're gonna stop there.
because we're hungry.
Yep.
So before we go, short for pulling through, coming to the show. For the subscribers, almost 100 of you. Like, it's
Nearly
a
there.
vibe.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
come on,
come
guys.
on,
One
man,
last
like,
push.
Come, man. Don't be
One
like
last
this,
push.
man. But then again, you know what? No, I'm saying this now. No, what if we over 100 subs when this episode is? Fuck my life. Anyway, for all of you that
150, guys. Let's go.
thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and do the things like share us everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we just now we
If you have comments, if you have some suggestions,
Reach
parenting
out.
advice or anything like that, or even if you are in the profession of like, taking care of children or whatever,
and when I come on the show, to
come
talk
have a
about it.
conversation. Teach us some things,
Yeah.
We don't know everything. Teach us some
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
Also, if you want to come on the show, reach out. You can reach out to us. Our WhatsApp number is there, or you can just like DM us on one of our platforms. We appreciate your time. We're gonna go eat like a tight now. So enjoy your day and enjoy your time. We'll see you next week. Safe.
So